right, all right, all right, all right. We here, we here. We are here. In the name of Amen, the Supreme, the All-Powerful, the one and only true Lord. In Amen we trust, in Amen we thank, and in Amen we continue forward forever. Good evening, I'm your host, the high and mighty intellectual Benjamin Manhattan, and this is High and Mighty Talks with me, the intellectual Benjamin Manhattan. And I'm going to be discussing a bevy of topics tonight. I'm going to be discussing a bevy of topics. You see the one I'm about to discuss, and you see the topic that I'm leading with. You know me, I touch on a bunch of things, but you know me, I hit it and quit it, and I keep it moving. I'm not going to be on here long. I know I started late, so for those of you, I apologize. We're gonna go to about 10:30, and I'm gonna do my radio broadcast at 11. But you know, I lived the life of a night man. I'm just moving around in the evening hours, sleeping in the daytime hours. Sometimes I come out and get some air like the vampire and whatnot. But you know, I'm the sunpire. So you know. With that being said, let me go right into this. Those you might notice that I put this thing up here, right? I couldn't believe it myself. American white Indians or white American Indians. All right. Now that sounds kind of strange. I know to the people that truly know the history of America, but as you can see, certain people are trying to change the history of America. Right. I'm going to read you something from Wikipedia. Now, before I go into this, what's wrong with that that sentence, white American Indian? There's no such thing as any white American Indians. All right. But I'm going to tell you why they're trying to make that a thing now. I'm going to tell you why. Because I just happened to come across, somebody came across and gave it to me. I forget who it was. One of the brothers came across it and gave it to me. It's on Wikipedia. White Amazonian Indians. Look this up in Wikipedia. White Amazonian Indians, which make me look at Wikipedia like, They make me look at Wikipedia with a side eye, a big side eye, not even a side eye, straight eye, man. Because this is some BS right here. White Amazonian Indians. Look this up under Wikipedia. White Amazonian Indians or white Indians is a term first applied to sightings or encounters of mysterious white-skinned natives in the Amazon rainforest from the 16th century by Spanish missionaries. These encounters and tales sparked Percy Fawcett's journey into the uncharted jungles of Amazon Mato Grosso region. Various theories since the 20th century have been proposed regarding the documented sightings of encounters. Spanish Dominican missionary Gaspar de Carvalho, I'm messing up his name, first claimed meeting white tribe of Amazonians who wrote in this account of the recent discovery of famous grand rivers of the tribe of Amazonia women who were very white and tall, who had long hair braided and wound about their heads. Are y'all fucked? I'm not gonna curse now, so I'm gonna stop cursing. But this is about the, British journalist Harold T. Wilkins in The Mysteries of South America, Ancient South America, 1945, compiled further accounts of similar sightings of white Indians in the Amazon rainforest in the 16th to 19th century by explorers and Jesuits. Percy Fawcett searched for the lost city of Z in the Amazon, which believed to be the inhabitants of the white Indians. Do y'all believe this? Do y'all hear this? It's more, and I'm really. Did y'all hear what I just read? Did y'all hear what I just read? White Indians in Amazon in South America. Are they serious? Are they serious? White Indians. Did y'all just hear what I read? White Indians Caucasian Indians. Sound like some culture vulture stuff to me. White people have never been known to be native to America. Now, all of a sudden, mysteriously, we're hearing about these white Amazonian Indians. That was in America, right? And, you know, of course, they're going to become all these other things, right? Right? They're going to become all these other things. They have to actually got the nerve to say this. There's no such thing as any white people in America. All Caucasian people come from Europe. All white people come from Europe, not from Africa, not from Asia, which Europe is really Asia. Okay, that's why they were calling it Eurasia. And definitely white people are not native to America or indigenous to America. There's no white people as was native or indigenous to America. None. But you know what? But they can sit up here and remix history like this. They can sit up here and remix history and lie like this while sitting around here calling us the real American Indians, the real American indigenous people, the real Mesoamericans, the Olmecs, the Aztec, the Inca, the Mayan that made it over here, that came from South America and Central America into North America and, you know, basically, you know, set up their North American society. And then who followed along with, who followed us in here or who came? Your Asians came. Your Asians came over here. And our people allowed them to come amongst us and mingle amongst us. Because, see, everybody got this idea of the American Indian as a mongoloid-looking or a mixed-race Blasian, which we would call them today Blasians, black and Asian mix. You would think, or y'all got this idea in your head that the American Indians look like them due to the fake and phony narrative that the so-called white man was teaching here in America about these white-skinned Indians. Didn't I tell you they was going to eventually try to replace us? Didn't I tell you that? All they had to do is say that, you know, the American indigenous people are African. They from Africa, which is a lie. All they had to do was say that. Put it in books, make movies, get a bunch of sellout black boulets like Alex Haley, right? Like Umar Johnson still today teaching us this nonsense that we African. You know why they do that? They put these people here to run interference so then they could come up behind and steal the ball. It's like, you know, they run interference. They block us out when we're trying to ask about our American Indian heritage. Here they comes up, oh, brother, we ain't Indians. We Africans from Africa. But yet, nobody claims us in Africa. Nobody can tell you about some African slave trade that went on. That's a damn lie. There was no African slave trade. They brought a few Africans over here in boats. But all of our people were already here. The descendants of the Aztec and the Mayans, which I'm a descendant of, I'm a Mayan, and I am Cherokee on my father's side and Pumanche on my mother's side. I'm an American Indian. I'm not African. I'm not African American. I ain't my family didn't come here on no damn boats or no whatever they claim, because there was no ships until 1850. So they wasn't bringing no car. It was no cargo slavery. That just show you how sick and demonic these people are. If they were to sit up here and lie and rechange and rewatch history, wasn't no white people near no America back then. That's a damn lie. Of some tall white women and well, show a picture. Show a picture. I want the people from Wikipedia, the people that's making up this BS. I want to see a picture of these tall white women in the Amazon jungles of South America. Show them and show where they came from. Where they came from. Show me these white-skinned Indians. I want to see them. The only white-skinned Indians are the made-up white-skinned Indians that are here in North America today, who are the descendants of those Europeans, these Caucasians, who was able to go in for $5 get on the Dawes Road. There was a road called the Dawes Road that the government set up, where you could go and pay $5 to become an Indian, or a so-called Indian, and you get land allotments and all kind of other things. So they've been sitting up here stealing our identity, calling us black people. And you so-called black people are still too goddamn dense to understand that by calling yourselves black people, by allowing them to call you black people, you are blacking your history out. Who was these dirty Indians they was talking about? Who were the dirty Indians? And let me ask something. What happens? Let me ask an even bigger question. If these white Indians exist, where they descendants at? Where are their descendants at? If these white Indians that was in the Amazon, they said they existed, where are their descendants at? You see? Where are their descendants at? What they gonna say? It's the white people here in America today. We know that's a lie. Because every white person here in America can trace their roots back to Europe. They're not white. I'm sorry, and I said this before, but truth is truth. White people are not American. White people, Caucasians, are not Americans. They are Europeans. Asians are not Americans. Just because you call yourself something don't mean that's what you are. You're trying to get the world to believe that's who you are because they don't want you to think. They think anybody can just come here and be American. But the funny thing is, when it comes to us, they want to call us African American. They want to act like we immigrants. A brother. I shared this post on Facebook. I shared this post. He said, we supposed to be immigrants. If you saying we African American, we supposed to be immigrants. Now, ain't that right? We supposed to be immigrants. We supposed to be immigrants. If you say we came from someplace else, then that means we as African Americans, like Italian Americans, German Americans, French Americans, we immigrants. So that means that because all of those immigrants groups I just mentioned, the Italian Americans, the Irish Americans, the German Americans, the French Americans, all those people as were able to come over here as immigrants and get some sort of benefits from being here, be it jobs, be it what I want to say, be it jobs or first dibs on jobs and things like living in certain areas and neighborhoods. They basically benefited from being immigrants, aka white people here in America. They benefited from, because that's all white means. White just means immigrant. White just means immigrant. Okay, that's why you got Asians up here calling themselves white people. In fact, I saw a video a couple of days ago where this Asian guy, he comes out, this is in Arizona, and he comes up to two bronze indigenous American people, real indigenous people, so-called black men. He comes up, and these guys look like they was indigenous, right? Because, he comes up and he tells them, oh, there's no niggas allowed over here. He said, I'm white and all that. He said he white. The Asian guy, he started acting like a damn, dyed-in-the-wool caveman. That's dyed-in-the-wool cave beast. Dyed-in-the-wool cave beast. He started acting like. You see, acting like a dyed-in-the-wool cracker. He started calling the black men niggers, and he started sitting up here acting like he white. You see, with his eyes all pulled to the side, and he acting like he white. You see, that's why I try to tell you. White is just a status. There's no such thing as a white race. There's no such thing as a white race. White is just a status, a governmental status, just like black. White is immigrant. Black is indigenous. White is immigrant. Black is indigenous. So when they're calling us black people, they really making reference to us as the dirty Indians. Remember back in the day, people remember a lot of those movies and whatnot. And if you remember history, the Europeans, they was always referring to our people, or they was referring to the American Indians, our people, as the dirty Indians, as the savage Indians, the dirty savage Indians. Why did they call us dirty? Because they were trying to make reference to the darkness of our skin being dirty. You see, that was their first racial slur. And from the word, where the word nigger came from, was from the word niggardly, which is why they called our people that, because we owned all the land here, we owned all the property. We had the first plantations here in North America as the American Indians. We did. You see? And when the Caucasians came over here and started trying to set up their little spaces on the land and whatnot, they didn't know how to grow anything here. They didn't know how to survive here. A lot of them died over here, starved. So they would go to the American indigenous people, us, and they would ask us for food. They would ask us to, help them to survive, show them how to grow and do things. They would ask us to feed them. And a lot of our people was like, no. That we wouldn't share none of our resources with the Europeans, the Caucasians. We wasn't sharing our resources. So that's when the term niggardly came out, because that's an English term. Niggardly. Oh, those are niggardly people, stingy people. You see, the white man don't want you to know that the connection between the word nigger and niggardly is the same thing. It was the Europeans that started calling us niggardly people. Dane Calloway brought that out. Shout out to Dane Calloway. I definitely acknowledge giving props for props that he brought that out. But, That's where the word nigger came from. They was making reference to us as stingy people, people who didn't want to share our resources, people that didn't want to share the harvest on our land. That's why they start calling us niggers. Because eventually niggardly became niggar. If you look at, before it wasn't N-I-G-G-E-R, it was N-I-G-G-A-R. Because that's how you spell niggard. They started calling us, niggardly became niggards and niggar, and eventually became nigger. You follow what I'm saying? Niggardly became niggar. Now people get lazy and they start, cutting down the names and whatnot. And that's what they did to get the word nigger. So the word nigger was being made reference to the real American Indians, us, the copper-colored races that were here before the Europeans. I never heard no nonsense like that about no white Amazonian Indians, but they'll just make up stuff. And you know what? Wikipedia, y'all ought to be ashamed of yourself, man. Y'all go look that up, man. And somebody need to say something about this. But but again, it's hard to get so-called black Americans to focus on things like this because you're too busy worrying about damn Kamala Harris. You're too busy worrying about Donald Trump to realize that your what's left of your American Indian heritage is being stolen from you. They rewriting history and making up stuff right in front of our face. And we sitting around here looking at Africa. We sitting up here looking at Africa and we full on whole Indians. American Indians who did not come from Africa, who are not African. But y'all, again, you too busy wanting to listen to idiots like Umar Johnson, listen to an idiot like Umar Johnson trying to push this Pan-African garbage. You Dr. James Smalls, you Joseph Benyakis, all them old school Negroes that was pushing this, we from Africa, we from, Africa and Kemet and all this other stuff. Let me tell you something. You know why I went from Nuben Menkares to Benjamin Manhattan? You know why? Because I couldn't do it anymore. I'm not going to make no secret of it. I used to be a student at Dr. York's years ago. I was a student at Dr. York's. And Dr. York and the Nubians, which they still are, they were heavily into the ancient Egyptian stuff. And so my name, Nuben Menkares, my former name, Nuben Menkares, was influenced by them. I became Nuben under them because they was dealing with the whole Nubian thing and in the Pharaoh Menkares and whatnot. So I was caught up in that because that's what they was into. And that name carried over, and I just never changed it. But as you evolve, you grow and you see, hey man, this ain't it, man. How am I sitting here in America and my ancestry is here in America, in ancient America, Mesoamerica? How the hell am I sitting in America and my ancestors, my Mesoamerican ancestors, my American Indian ancestors, my Cherokee and my Pumanque ancestors, I'm sitting up here and I'm calling myself a goddamn African, from African American, like somebody brought my people here like caged animals. We was always here. And what they did was enslave us, the natives, or the indigenous people. You see, because if you notice, how is it that, because you had all kinds of people coming in, you had indentured servants, people was working, but the best so-called slaves or indentured servants, or you can say slave, the best slaves were the indigenous people. The best slaves was us. Why? Because we indigenous to the land. Africans would not have been valuable here in America. Africans would not have been valuable. But see, they started back in the 1700s telling that lie about African American. Because see, a lot of people think that the term African American started with Jesse Jackson in 1988, another Boule Sambo, who stood up here and pushed this African thing to our people at the behest of his white superiors, right? Like Alex Haley, all these Boule Coon Sambos. He died off, thank Amen. You see, because he helped to spread a lot of lies and misinformation and helped to program our people and get us on that African nonsense. And we stopped listening to our grandmothers and grandfathers saying, oh boy, girl, we Indians. We American Indians. Because for the longest time, our people was afraid to say that because back then in the early, before the turn of the century, just shortly after slavery and things like that, if you said you was Indian, because this country hated the American Indians. And when I say they hated the American Indians, I'm talking about us. I'm not talking about the so-called Native Americans that you see, the Asian ones. They're Asian, by the way. I'm not talking about them people who you see who who they dress up and they put them on camera. A lot of the American indigenous people, the real American Indians, us, we wouldn't take no pictures with no Caucasian. And we, after a while, we stopped wearing the feathered head dresses and we try to assimilate into modern day American society back then. So a lot of us took off our feathered head crowns, but we never forgot where we came from. And hell no, everybody wasn't no damn slave. That's a lie. That's a lie. You have people that left from the South, and when they talk about the Trail of Tears, the real Trail of Tears is them taking our land from us so they could put the Europeans on it and replace us. You see, you know, like how they doing with hip hop now, how they're using the Latinos to replace us as the creators of hip hop. Notice a lot of the Latinos and whatnot. I'm not no disrespect to the bronze Latinos who know the bronze Latinos, some of the Tainos, they know that we the real American Indians. That we are the savage tribes, all the tribes that they don't even bother to mention. They say they only acknowledge 5 civilized tribes. Well, what about all the rest of them? Why they don't talk about the Pamunkey, the Washita, what's the guy? There's so many of them. I can't call them off right now. The Pamunkey, the Washita, what's this guy? Yeah. But it's a lot of tribes. I know where my people are, or where my people come from. I've been knew my people was Indian. I've been knew that. I never bought into the whole African thing. And like I said, when I was with Dr. York and them, you know, much respect due to Dr. York, but I could never buy into the whole African thing that, you know, and the whole we African and we need to go back to Africa, someplace we never been, someplace we not from. We need to go back to Africa. And some of his people started doing that, and the whole Egyptian thing. And constant, it was like trying to get us to get away from who we are as American Indian. Then at one point in time, he tried to, you know, shout out and give credit to the American, but by the time it was too late, then he moved on to something else. Yeah, we're the real cowboys and Indians. That's us. You see, and these Caucasians are taking our heritage. They're taking our culture. You know, we can prove that we the American Indians all day. We can prove that we the Mayans, the Aztec, the Inca, and the Olmec, which is where the American Indians come from. The American Indians, all the tribes come from them. And you had the Asians come and mix in with us. That's why when you see some of the early Indians and whatnot in the 1500s and stuff like that, they got our dark skin and straight hair. The straight, and they got little slanted eyes like the Asians, because that was the Asian and American Indian mix. Those people are not American Indians. That's why they use the term Native American. We the American Indians. And this country has the hatred that this country, this government has for us is the same hatred they had for the American Indians. It's the same beef, but they just had to turn it into black and white. Black and white. Black to erase our culture, our heritage, and then replace it with whatever the hell they want to tell us. Y'all African. See, y'all came on these cargo slave ships that never existed. It didn't exist until 1850. And when they started making cargo slips, they was transporting goods from Europe, transporting goods from America into Europe. You see? So keep that in mind. You know, keep that in mind. These people have set up here and set up these Native American, so-called Native American tribes and calling themselves Native Americans and whatnot. And I was like, oh, hell no, man. I'm like, yeah, y'all could be the Native Americans, but we the American Indians. We are the American Indians. We're not no Africans. And again, these so-called Africans, they'll tell you that we're not them. We're not African. They'll tell you that. They'll tell you, they know we're not from where they are. They know that. But see, the problem is we don't know. The problem is you listening to these Pan-African, which pretty much a lot of that stuff is going out the window. Like, only one that's claiming this African nonsense now is these Negroes that they done paid off. The people like this guy, Henry Louis Gates, who comes out here and giving all of a sudden give so-called Black Americans DNA test, and then come telling me this cock and bull story that, oh, see, you 55, 65% sub-Saharan African, you 22%, you 22% European, Scottish, Irish, but you never American Indian. Ain't that funny? You never American Indian. You ain't never Indian. You always African. You're always African. You don't find that strange that, oh, we always African and white. We always black and white. We mixed race. We ain't no people. We just mixed race people. We don't got no. We just a bunch of mutts. That's basically what every time you come out with Skip Lewis Gates' mouth, that we a bunch of mutts. That we got white blood in us and so-called white blood and so-called black blood in us, but never American Indian. So who's the American Indian? Where is the American Indian, American indigenous blood? Let me tell you something. The blood type of the American Indian is O type, O positive, and that starts with us. Now, if you see other races of people with the O type, that comes from us. They mixed in with us. But everybody knows, or if you do any research, the bloodline of the American Indians is O positive, O type blood. That's my blood type. That's many black Americans, so-called black Americans' blood types. That's many of our blood types. You see, we indigenous to this land. And to have these people come up here, while certain people ain't gonna come out and say that, you're not gonna hear Tariq Nasheed or Jason Black or any of these other people tell us that we American Indians, because why not tell that truth? Why not tell that truth? That truth is easily, and again, no disrespect to them guys, but I told you, anybody that's sitting up here calling us black today, anybody sitting up here telling us that we African and that we got roots in Africa and that all life started in Africa, don't listen to them. Stop listening to them. Stop listening to them. They're lying. They're lying. That comes from that's that made up European racist fake pseudo scientific genealogy BS where all life started in Africa, but see, you black people, you Negroes, y'all slow, and so the white man, he get to go all over the place. The Caucasian get to go all over the place and call himself an Amazonian Indian. He get to call himself a European, Africana. He get to call himself everything. He get to be everything. But when it comes to us, wherever we go, they gonna call us African. And that's really, and they do that because they try to limit our movement. They don't want you to know that we the first Americans and that everything they're doing here is a following of what we did here as the American indigenous nations here. We had the American indigenous tribes and nations here. It's just that we wasn't coming together and operating like how they ended up doing. They watched what we did and they learned from our mistake and they came together and got together. The Europeans, they became white Americans over here. They basically pushed us out through their unification. And that still happens to this day. You see, Caucasian people, Caucasian Americans are so-called white Americans, aka Europeans, not Indians, not no $5 roll door Indian, not no fake Indians, real the real Indians, not the real, these are the real Indians right here, whose blood is in this land, whose labor is in this land. And again, you know how you know our culture in America dominates everything. Our music dominates everything. Our music, from blues to jazz to bebop to hip hop to ragtime, soul, R&B, rock, country. That's all our music. Rock and roll. That's all our music. Rock music came from Jimi Hendrix. Okay, rock and roll came from Little Richard and Ike Turner. And Elvis Presley just copied it. So they always do that. They come into a place like immigrants do, and they start taking on the mannerisms, the culture, the music, and everything of the indigenous people. If we was from Africa, then why can't you find African music that sound like ours? Why can't African music don't sound like our music? There's no disrespect to the Africans, but their music don't sound like ours. We don't eat the same. We got a different culture than them. We just don't. And again, it's no disrespect to them, but it's the truth. We're a totally different culture, man. This is American Indian culture right here. We tell them we ain't got a culture. We American Indians, this is our culture. You see how they was trying to jack, like they was trying to use the Latinos to jack hip hop from us? Like I said, because they love hip hop. White people love hip hop. So of course, what did they try to do? They try to make Eminem the king of hip hop, like how they tried to push Elvis Presley to be the king of rock and roll. Yet he didn't start it, right? Even this thing is backlash with Beyonce about her singing country music, and they talking about, but she invading country music, but then they come and find out doing the history on country music that the country music came from black people. You see, from American indigenous people, from American Indians. Like all music here. Now, when I say American Indians, I mean the copper-colored races. The copper-colored races. Look up the 1828 American Webster Dictionary of American. The copper-colored races that the Europeans found here when they came into America. Now the term American applies to them. We are the copper-colored races that they call black people. They just hijacked us, man. They hijacked us, and this is further proof that these people are willing to lie just to change history and take our place. There is no damn white Amazonian Indians. Where are their descendants at? Let's just say that's real. Where are their descendants at? You know what they're going to say? Oh, white people in America, American white people, they're the descendants of the Amazonians. But wait a minute. In the definition, you just said that these people are Europeans who came here and became Americans. They took the place of the bronze copper-colored races, the original Americans. We the original Americans. We are the original Americans, the American indigenous people. And you got these Sambos and Coons out here who are trying to promote us and push this, trying to Africanize us. They trying to Africanize us, aka erase us. Like they did in our music, steal our culture, steal our heritage. This is our culture and heritage. And I know to a lot of pro-black Pan-Africanists who sit up here and who watch one too many Roots episodes, the mini-series, I know this is overwhelming for you. Because y'all say, oh, brother, why you don't want to be black? Brother, you ashamed of being black? We not black and we not African. You don't want to be African? No, we not. I don't give a damn what Umar Johnson talking about. Umar Johnson, like I said, Umar Johnson won't take his African ass, his pro-black African, he won't go take his ass over to Africa and live now, will he? Why won't he go to Africa and live? Why don't he go there and go with an African wife? And stop messing with these American indigenous spots. Go get an African woman, since you want to say that you you Pan-African. Why aren't you telling the brothers to go get these African women? Oh, that's right, because the African females said they laid up with the white man. They laid up with the damn colonizer. The damn colonizer. They laid up with him. They're a bunch of damn African quiches. They laid up with the colonizer, with the white man, being bed wenches. That's why. Raw and uncut. Let me go ahead and answer some of these questions, man. Well, first of all, let me go ahead and touch on these other topics. Yeah, but I had to touch on the ridiculousness of this. You know, I had to touch on the ridiculousness of this white Amazonian. Look that up on Wikipedia. Look it up. White Amazonian Indians. I want y'all to look that up, to look at this madness. Because that's what it is, complete madness. Complete stupidity and ignorance. You know, they said they went crazy. But I knew this was going to happen when I was looking for some shirts online. And, you know, I buy some of my shirts I get online. And there was a section at this one company I was looking at. There was a section where they had Native American apparel and culture. So Native American, you know, they don't want to say American Indian because they know they can't claim American Indian. You see, so they say Native American style and culture and heritage. They had a shirt, but guess who was wearing the shirt and rocking Native American culture? Caucasian, a white boy, a European, a whole European, you know, because, you know, when white people get into America, they forget all about their European heritage. They forget they come from someplace else. They get the feeling they sell. They get to re-stamping they sell. Now they white Americans. They forget they come from someplace else. They start getting all bold and bolden and getting their chests all up, talking about nigga, or you telling people, get out this country, get out my country. America's a white country. This is the madness they sit up here and say. America is a white country. This is what they sit up here and say. Lies. Yet it was built on our backs. We built America. They didn't build America. We built America. On our backs. That's why slavery went on for so long. Because like you see today, like what you see with the Mexicans and whatnot who coming over here. You know why they want the Mexicans to come across the border? Because they the new workforce. They the new workforce. We the old workforce. We always been working here in America. Before Caucasians came here, we was here. It tell you right in the Merriam-Webster dictionary. It never spoke about no white people in no Amazon. Tell them to show the pictures. The hell, no more lies, man. And like I said, a lot of y'all are complicit in this. Black people are complicit in it because y'all keep your damn mouths shut. You don't say nothing. I just sat up here and showed you these people are wholesale stealing our identity. Wholesale stealing our identity. Pushing us to the side. Calling us African Americans. I cringe every time I hear African American. I cringe every time I hear black. It makes me cringe. It makes me cringe even more when you get people that sit up here like your Umar Johnsons, your Dr. James Smalls, all these guys that's not going to tell our people the truth. See, because they know if they tell our people the truth, all these people that got doing big numbers on YouTube, if they really start telling the truth, like I said, Dane Calloway, he slipped through the cracks. Dane Calloway, but if you notice, Dane Calloway ain't talking too much about the American Indian thing no more. He more into conspiracy and government thing. Because Dane Calloway, no disrespect to him, I like his work. I learned a lot of stuff from Dane Calloway. From as far as the American Indigenous stuff, I learned a lot of things I didn't know and things I did know. But I've always knew that my people was American Indians. I never thought we was African or that we came on those slave ships. No way. Never thought that. You see, never. Because I know the difference. So you don't even really see Dane Calloway no more talking about the American Indigenous stuff. I mean, he pretty much said everything he could say. We the American Indians, but every so often he'll come back and circle around and talk about it again. But he's more or less talking about conspiracy theories now. He's more or less talking about, if you look at his stuff, he's talking about the government and conspiracy. He ain't talking about the American Indian stuff no more. So this is how, things end up getting lost in translation because people could go and look at his old videos and shout out to Kareem Ahawal. He's another one putting on these long, he basically acknowledged that we American Indians, and he another one putting on the holding the banner up as our people being the American Indigenous people. He telling the truth. It's Latino, brother. So let me go ahead. So I talked about reclaiming our American Indian heritage. Yeah, we must reclaim that. Why are American Indians hated and Native Americans are loved? Because the American Indians that are hated is us. The black Indians, the so-called black Indians, the people who they try to black out our culture, our heritage, because we were some wild people, man. We were some fighters. We was wild. This before black people started worshiping the image of white people, and they got white Jesus on the brain before they got brain stained with white Jesus, and we wasn't worshiping the image of white people. When we was proud Americans, we was fighters, man. We was fighters. We was warriors. That's where the term of Indian braves and all that come from. We was fighters and warriors. We was getting it in with these Europeans, and we put them down a lot, man. You see. The Seminole Wars in Florida wasn't the only wars that was going on. There was wars and riots and things going on all over this country. The American Indians were setting it off all the time. You see, that's why they started to criminalize us. They started to demonize us because we was running through these white settlements, these European settlements, and tearing shit up. That's why they hate us so much. That's why there's a hatred for so-called black people here, the real American Indians, the Negroes. Remember I told you that story Muhammad Ali told about how he and an African gentleman, they was somewhere in the South, and they wanted to go to some place, in some restaurant down South and get something to eat. This is about in the early 60s, he said. He said the African guy, he was real darker than Muhammad Ali, but he had on all the African stuff. They's like, no Negroes allowed. But they didn't let Muhammad Ali in, but they let the African in. They said it's okay to let the African in, not Muhammad Ali. You know why? Because Muhammad Ali is an American Indian. Muhammad Ali is an American Indian. You can see, I can find Muhammad Ali's faces right in Mesoamerica, and you can find his face. See, our people started getting mixed, our bloodline started getting mixed with the Asians. That's why you started seeing bronze people with straight hair and slanted eyes. But a lot of our tribes, we didn't mix. And the ones who didn't mix, they just end up turning us into damn Negroes and African Americans and coloreds and all kind of made of anything but American Indian. Because see, American Indian means that we was here first, and this is our land. And it is our land. This is our country. These people come from someplace else. Like I told you, you can't come from someplace else and then claim that that's your place of origin. Like I said, I can't go and move to Italy and become Italian. I can't become Italian by nationality. So how is it that the so-called white man can come from Europe and all of a sudden you American Indian, you just American? It don't work like that. There's a nationality here in America. There's a nationality here in America. There's an American nationality. There's a people who are American by nationality, and that's us. The people who are falsely being called black people. Don't you understand? Black is just a way of covering who we are. Nobody never questioned that. Why do you keep calling yourself black people? Why do you keep allowing people to call you black people? Don't you understand that's a way to cover who we are as American Indians? Don't you understand that? It's that simple. So when you get people calling us black people, that means they're complicit. Because there's no way you can't know, oh damn, why would they calling us black people? There's no such thing as a black culture. There's no such thing as a black race. That is nothing but American Indians all day. Notice they don't call Africans Negroes. The white man don't call the Africans Negro. He don't call them niggas. He don't call them all the names they call us. The names Negro, African, black, they don't call the Africans black. They didn't call them black. Those names are reserved for us, the American Indians of this land, because that's how they erase our culture, by calling us black people, burying us, calling us African. All that. They've been trying to do that since the 1700s. Like I said, that's not a new terminology. African American is not a new terminology. It's not. They was using that back. You got the guys like Prince Hall, the guy who was able to get a charter, I think, from France or Scotland. He was able to get a charter to start the Masonic order here. Prince Charles, who was the American Indian. But this Negro set up here and start some African, because I guess they probably told him, oh, you can't start nothing if you're going to call yourself Indian, because already back then they was trying to erase our image as the American indigenous people here. They was trying to erase our image, and they was using the Asian Mongolians, the ones who they show as American Indians today. Many of you are descendants, you Native Americans, are descendants of Caucasians and Asians. Y'all not American Indians. You are Native Americans who are descendants of those 5-hour Caucasians and those Asians that crossed the Bering Straits and came over there. And then you had an influx of them come over in the 1800s as well. And they mixed in with our people, man. That's all. They mixed in with us. That's why you see a lot of people, the original Indians have woolly hair. We could prove that. We could prove that. There's a book that in the Library of Congress that Sister Tasha Z brought out. She brought out, and it showed you, and you could go get it. I hope they don't destroy the book after this, but her video is up where they show you the image. This old book is falling apart. Then it's 300 or 400 years old, but they showed you how the American Indians look, and it was us. It was us. It was not no mixed people with straight hair, woolly hair with feathered crowns on. That was us. This is who they were showing. They were showing us. You see? Now all of a sudden, oh, what y'all talking about? And the brother brought up a good point. I cut off myself off from saying this when the brother said, well, if we supposed to be from someplace else, that means that we are immigrants like y'all. So that means we can go and get what the immigrants get, right? We can go and get money for housing vouchers and money for homes and money for like how they doing the immigrants that's coming over here from across the border, the illegals. They giving them money in different states, giving them money and vouchers for food and things like thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars. Illegals, but they won't help the people that's here. In other words, they won't help the so-called black Americans here, who's supposed to be from Africa. Why won't you help them? Why can't we get any immigrant assistance or government assistance? Why can't we get it as immigrants? If you're saying we immigrants, that means we're supposed to qualify for that. But we don't. And you know why? Because we're not immigrants. We are indigenous to this land, and they've been punishing us ever since because they mad that we won't go away. They mad that we won't die off. The white man wants to take the Europeans, because that term white was created here in America in Virginia in the 1600s by a man named Blackley. Do your history, look it up. There's no such thing as white people going past the 1600s. There's no such thing. That was created here in America in Virginia by a tobacco plantation known as Blackley, a Caucasian, European, racist. Like I said, But anyway, why we can't get none of that because we're not immigrants. We indigenous. And I told you the immigrants hate the indigenous people because they want to be them. They want to replace them. And again, these so-called Mongolian Indians, if y'all the oldest people here in America and y'all the real so-called indigenous people to this land, native to this land, then how come we don't know nothing about your culture? How come we don't know nothing about your culture? Your culture should be embedded in this country. It should be something we should be doing that came from y'all. This didn't come from y'all. The feathered headdress didn't come from y'all. It came from us. We could prove that. This comes from us, not from them. They copied us. This comes from us. We got plenty of pictures of us going back to the 1400s and all that, wearing these or the ones that stand straight up in the air with the feathers on. This comes from us. So then now, if I wear something like this, people will think boy, you crazy, you want to be Indian. That's who we are. Knowing the truth when we hear it as opposed to believing. You see, when I speak like this, I expect people who have a grasp of logical and rational thinking to know what's being said is true, because I could back up everything I say based in logic, based in historical context. I could back up all the stuff I say as American. That's why I wouldn't sit up here and put this feathered head crown on and make a clown out of myself, because this is more indigenous and more connected to me than if I sit up here and put on some damn kente cloth. Put on some kente cloth that's made in Switzerland or in some European country. I think it's in Switzerland, someplace they make that kente cloth BS. Because that whole Pan-African thing was manufactured by Europeans, man, by Caucasians. The whole Pan-African thing, and these people that you see out here pushing it, these are nothing but workers, man. These guys are workers. They're workers. They're workers for that cabal of corporations and people that control the money. They put Negroes like this out here and give them jobs in colleges to teach this African American studies BS. Basically, the program your people, I'm gonna give you $80,000, I'm gonna give you $100,000 and give you tenure at a college that's go and teach lies to your people and teach lies to the world. Because Skip Lewis, I think he's a professor of African American studies at Harvard or Princeton. Man, they give these guys this money just to sit up here like Alex Haley. They gave him a damn book deal. They gave him a TV deal, and he plagiarized Roots. I told you that. That's plagiarized Roots. The biggest programming tool that was used on our people in the year 1977 to push this whole African thing on our people, to disconnect from our American Indian heritage, was done in the movie Roots, the miniseries on ABC. But the problem with that is, this was supposed to be Alex Haley's family, but the problem with that is he plagiarized that from a white man named Harold Corlander in New York. He got sued and the guy won. Kunta Kinte is made up from a white man. All this Pan-African stuff comes from white people. And they just created it to get you Negroes to hand over your American indigenous heritage, which y'all stupidly did. That's why y'all running over there to Africa and Ghana and talking about, yeah, I'm home. And the goddamn Ghanaians and all the people, they're like, get your ass up out of here. You a mark. They looking at you like you American. Oh, you American food over there. They don't see you as they people. They trying to get money off you. A come up. I'm gonna be. I had to pull out the feathered head crown, man. I had to pull out the feathered head crown. I had to pull it out today, man. When I saw that, man, I was like, I got to go in on this. I wanted to say something on the Kamala Harris thing about this. The thing Teresa, she was talking about, and other people talking about how she ain't coming out saying she black no more. Like when she get in front of the Caucasians, like I said, them Caucasians and them TV cameras is truth serum. Because once they asked her, oh, are you black, so-called black? Next question, why she said that? You know why? Because she ain't about to sit up here in front of them white people, them racist, so-called liberal white people, and say and declare herself black. She can come around y'all and play that, you so-called African Americans, and play that black nonsense, all that foolishness. But when she get around white people, the real people who she serving, who she want they vote and they support, she ain't got no questions about, oh, she don't want to answer questions about being black. She don't want to be seen as a black woman because she know those people are racist. She know those people are racist and they not trying to support no black woman. Especially someone who's declaring it. When you can sit up here and declare that you're Indian, and she not even Indian, because the Hindus are not Indians. They're Hindus. The Indians is us. The Hindus is them. So to call those people Indians or call Kamala Harris an Indian is incorrect. She's a Hindu with some bronze mixed in her, with a little indigenous mixed in her, but she ain't no bronze woman. But you can see she got it mixed in her. All right. Yeah. Let me see. Red Fox. I put up a picture of Red Fox. Red Fox is definitely American Indian. Red Fox is American Indian. You can look and tell he Cherokee, he American Indian, man. You see. Again, the American Indians, the real American Indians got woolly hair. We got naturals, man. Not I don't want to say Afros. That again, naturals. We got woolly hair. The real American Indians got woolly hair, man. That's why they was able to braid our hair like this. You know, this is braided. This is braided like. This is a braided style. You see women wearing bronze women, so-called black American women wear this style with their hair out like this all the time. All right. I'm sipping through everything. Make sure I touched on it. I had to get on here because like I said, I was just tired, man. I had a long week, work being done in my house, so I had a long week. Why do black females no longer want to wear their own hair? Because again, black women, they follow people, or black women tend to follow people who are comfortable in their skin. White females are comfortable in their own skin. You'll never see a white female trying to really, be something she's not. She'll wear her own hair, her own fur. She'll wear that and she'll wear it proudly. Whereas the so-called black woman, the American indigenous woman, they want to copy behind females who are looked at as being the premier women. So whenever I see the so-called black woman with a blonde wig on her head, I know she's mentally off. When I see her with it, that's all mental programming. Seeing the so-called black woman with these blonde wigs on their head, red wigs and all this other madness, trying to like white women, cave women, aka cave women, trying to like Caucasian women. You see the black females like that with the low self-esteem. That's because they don't know who they are as American and Indian women. They don't know. They don't have no culture. So what do they have to do? They have to follow behind people who are the dominant culture. Because see, white people, they don't try to be nothing more than, well, they try to be Indians too, as we can see. But they gonna always make it plain that we white and that we stand for how we is as white people, and this is our culture. And anything they add into that, that's something else. But see, so-called black people, again, because you don't know who you are, because you don't know that you're the real American Indians, the real ones, not the Native Americans, two totally different things. The real American Indians, that's why you don't have no culture. You believe you black, you believe you came from Africa and all this other nonsense, but that's not something that our people are really feeling like that. You see, they don't want, our people don't connect with African culture. No matter how much people like Umar Johnson and them try to push that garbage on our people, we don't connect with Pan-African culture. And let me say something, Pan-African culture is not African culture. Pan-African culture or Pan-African ideology has nothing to do with African culture or African. Again, when the Africans are calling themselves Nigerians, Igbo, and all these other things, they are connecting with their nationality as what they are, their tribes, what they are. They're not really even calling themselves African like that, but because the white man colonized that and called it Africa, which, by the way, the term Africa comes from white people. You see, the term Africa comes from white people. Umar ain't gonna tell you that. He'll sit up here and talk about some damn Af-Ra-Ka from some ancient Egyptian stuff. Again, that's just how they're trying to get black people to buy into the whole African American, the whole thing that you came from someplace else. Keep lying to our people, man. Well, our people can't listen, man. Until our people learn the truth, know the truth about who we are, where we came from, there's no going forward in the future. There's no going forward. Until we stop the tribalism, because see, the same tribalism that still went on back then while people was beefing and fighting against each other and allowed the so-called white man, these Europeans, to come in here and take our land, take over our country, is because we busy fighting and beefing with each other. See, that continues today. That's why you got the Bloods beefing with the Crips and the GDs and all these other people, because they don't know they American Indian tribes, man. This is the American Indian tribes all over again. Y'all keep fighting with each other, and you always get some dirty Negroes that's receiving a direction from the beast to keep these trivial beefs and things going. You see, remember I pointed out this piece where I said we the children of Israel too, because if you look at this this thing on my head, this feathered head crown, you take this off. This is a yarmulke, man. This is what they would call it. The Caucasian would call it yarmulke. And you see the feathered, the tassels and stuff like that you see the Caucasian Jews wear. These are the same like the tassels and the yarmulke. And you see the feathered. So that's all Israel. These are all Israelite. We follow Israel, what they would call Israelite customs. You see, not eating pork. Not eating shellfish and all that. The American Indians was kosher people. We ate kosher, man. We didn't eat no pigs. You see, they didn't want to lie and tell the American Indians, a real American Indian, we didn't eat pork. We ate buffalo. We ate fish. We fished for buffalo, wild turkey. That's what we ate. That's why you got places still like the turkey leg hut. Niggas love turkey, man. They love the turkey leg, man. You don't never see the so-called Mongolians. They not. You don't know what kind of foods they eat. We was big on hunting wild turkeys and all that. That's our food. Wild turkey. We didn't eat no chicken. Yeah, we didn't eat no pork. The white man brought pigs over here from Spain into America. We ate the bison, the buffalo, which I eat all the time. I eat bison all the time. Buffalo, which is much better cut than beef. I don't eat cow. I don't touch cow. I eat bison, buffalo, which is native to America, which is indigenous to America. The bison with the natural, with the what you would call an afro on his head. But the bison, the fish with scales, salmon, whiting, and all that, and wild turkey. That was what we ate, and the vegetables and stuff. Of course, we grew. You see, that's our diet right there. Not no chicken, not no pork. No, you know all the crap they tell you black people, you African Americans like so much. They're just trying to steal our culture, man, and make up a bunch of stereotypical BS about us, man. All right. Why educated black males are preferred in this society over intelligent bronze men? That's the question I posed. You see, because educated black males are accepted here in America. You know, the educated black males, they the ones that's not only going to HBCUs and colleges and getting taught about being African American, they also in the streets selling drugs, listening to hip hop, being brainwashed or brain stained every day to live out a stereotypical life as a so-called quote unquote black person. What the hell is a black person? A black person is a stereotypical character that is created by racist Caucasians. That's what a black person is. I'm going to say it again. A black person or black people are a stereotypical race of people that's created by racist Caucasians. You see, all that black face, you know, that was all programming telling us that our skin was black. And when they was doing all that black face nonsense and saying that look like us, don't even look like us. When they was doing all of that, that was a way to program us to believe that we are black-skinned people. Ain't that what Tariq Nasheed say? Us black-skinned people. He sound like a damn fool saying that. Why, Tariq, why'd you say that, man? Why you say this black skin? Our skin is not black. But I see you following along with the corporation, man. The corporation want to deal with black people. They don't want to deal with American Indian people. And when I say the corporation, I mean the machine that controls the government. They want to deal with black people. Negroes, African Americans, you know, the ignorant people, the people don't know who they are, that believe that their skin is actually black, that believe they vote count. Yeah, that's the people they want to deal with. They want to deal with the ignorant people, the people that don't know a damn thing, the people that are brain stained. I don't say brainwashed, because to wash your brain is a good thing. What I'm doing with my people is washing the filth from their brain right now. I'm talking about the brain stained people, the dirty brain people who believe they black, who believe they came over on some damn African slave ship somewhere, who believe that they Negroes, who believe that white people are American, who believe that white people are white Indians, or that these other people are Indians, Native American. We're not Indian at all. Nah, man. No more lies. No more lies. No more lies. All right. So yeah, when I say intelligent bronze man, I'm an intelligent bronze man. I will never be an educated black man. Or see, let me show you what education is. When you seeing people like a 50 Cent putting on a power playbook, BMF and all the other stuff, that's the black education right there. That's black education right there. You niggas are drug dealers. All you know how to do is sell drugs to your people. And 50 Cent gives them people what they want. He gives the corporations the image they want of black people. You know, the image they created, the racist Caucasians created. He delivers all the time. You niggas are drug dealers, you criminals, you the scum of the earth, you know, and us white people, we the upright people, and we the ones that run society. And you niggers, you black people, y'all just some animals, and you just some predators and super predators, like Hillary Clinton said. Y'all some super predators. You know, the stereotype that the racist white people made up about you. And while they making up stereotypes about you, they taking your heritage. They taking your heritage. Unbelievable, man. Unthinkable. I gotta smoke a joint to that. I'm a smoking Indian. I smoke marijuana. Yes, I do. I like marijuana. And you know, it's sad that people sit up here and say that this is something wrong with this. Oh, this is drugs. This is not a drug. This is an herb. This is not a drug. Our people smoked marijuana from the time we was the real people in the Amazon. See, the white man basically put his image, replacing our image with his. What, you know, when we was in the Amazon, that was us. You see, we came through the Amazon and we was building a civilization. But that's a damn lie. We ain't never lived in no damn jungle. We always built civilization where we went. Them people that crossed the Bering Strait, they lived in the damn jungle when they came over here, but we was always living in civilizations. That's why if you ask a lot of the so-called people supposed to be indigenous today, of the indigenous of the Mesoamerican, they'll tell you they don't know who built all that stuff, but they know it's our people, man. They know it's bronze people, it's us, the American indigenous people that built them civilizations and left those civilizations and came over here into North America from South and Central America and came over here. They know that's us, man. All right. On to another note. I gotta touch on this. Is there really such a thing as an independent woman? Come on, y'all. Y'all really believe that? Because a lot of these liberated females, especially the so-called liberated black ones, I was listening to this one chick over here on YouTube talking this madness about how men need women more than women need men. She was telling herself that, so you know, a lot of these black females get conned into being liberated black females get conned into being feminists, you get conned into being feminists by these Caucasian females who pushing an agenda, which is to turn you against your so-called black men, your black American men, your American indigenous men. I don't mean that, no, cancel black, your American indigenous men, because that's all they brought your so-called black women into the so-called women's movement for, is to turn you against your men and destroy your families. And it worked, because now y'all sitting up here talking about y'all don't need men. Let me tell you something. Women live in societies that are built by men. Women live in buildings that are built by men. Women work on jobs that were that are controlled by men who started those businesses. Women live in a monetary system that was set up by men. American indigenous men built this society. Before anybody came, American indigenous men built this society. So my point is, and men today, or should I say males, they maintain the society every day. So if males and men didn't build and maintain the society, then women could not survive here. So let me ask you again, who needs who more? The female that was sitting up here saying that, she's sitting on YouTube saying that a network, YouTube, that was started by males, by Caucasian males, mankind. So your daily bread comes from systems that men set up. You live in buildings, you live in homes, you go to university schools that men set up. That I've yet to see, and no disrespect to women, I love women, of course, men need women, but let's just keep things in proper perspective. If there was no men here, women could not survive. Men could always build societies and things like that, and like I said, they basically, men need women to be mothers, they need to continue the family, to be helpmates, and sexual light pleasure. Men are not looking to women to get up here and build no buildings. Men are not looking to women to get out here and patrol those streets and be police officers, even though they got the females out here doing that. That's not a job for females. Police officers is not a job for females. That's a man's job. Construction is a man's job. If a female is working in the police department, she needs to be on the desk somewhere taking calls. Because when action go down and guns start busting and people start fighting, she gonna get her, she becomes a deficit. Because again, women, women are not built for street activity. They're not built for that street pressure. And the fact that the so-called white man got them in his army, he got them on the police force, that's wrong, man. That's wrong. That shows weakness. You ain't supposed to have your women out there fighting. You ain't supposed to have your women out there. What's next? You're going to have your children out there, 6-year-olds and 7-year-olds with damn guns in their hand, can't shoot straight. But that just shows you the society, man. Women need men to live, man, because we are the protection for women. Oh, another thing. I was going to touch on this thing called Blaxploitation on YouTube, and I was going to do a separate thing on it, but I might go ahead and talk about it, man. You see these guys that, you know what? Maybe I'll just save that for next time. I'll save the Blaxploitation thing for next time. I got a lot of topics I wanted to touch on, and I got to get ready to do my broadcast. Oh, maybe I will. Okay. There's a guy, and there's plenty of these guys. It's not just him. There's this guy. I shared him on my YouTube page. His name is Octo. He does this thing called Top Notch Idiots, right? He's from Armenian. He's Armenian. I thought he was Mexican, but he's Armenian. You know, that's the Europeans that like. That's what Kim Kardashian and them people is. They are Armenians, right? Now he's a millionaire. They were showing him on YouTube, the richest YouTuber, right? He got a $7 million mansion, right? And he been doing Top Notch Idiots. He made all his money from Top Notch Idiots. He made his money off YouTube. So they cut $1 million checks for this guy. But you know how he made his money? He goes basically to the hood, right? He go to the hood and mess with black males standing on the street. Go up to them, throwing gang signs, go up to saying crazy stuff, and get chased down, get beat up, and that's entertaining to a lot of people. And that's where he get his 1 million views from. And I called it Blaxploitation because he's referring to these guys who sit in the hood, minding their business, where they stand on the corner, talking to each other. He's referring to them in the video as thugs. Why are you calling men who are minding their business thugs? Why are you going and messing with them and could get them hemmed up, could get them locked up? You coming up here acting like you're threatening them, all to get YouTube views and get a big check from YouTube. Are you giving money to those men after you use their image on screen to make millions of dollars? Are you giving back? Are you saying, hey, you guys for being good sports? Do they go to them after and say, hey, you guys take $1,000 for it? Because he can afford it. At least you wouldn't be exploiting because you're paying them. But they go up here, and it's this other Arab guy. This Arab guy does this. But my point is, everybody makes money off black people, but black people. His Arab guy, he's in Chicago. I forget his name. I forget what his name is. But he's making money off YouTube. He making money off of selling niggas Dutch Masters in the damn corner store, ripping niggas off, and your black woman face got her in the back on her knees for a damn ham and cheese or turkey and cheese sandwich for her kids. Not only is he messing with them, he got them. He's filming them and saying crazy stuff to them, and he's making a bunch of money off of it. So now is he making money selling niggas stuff in the damn corner store in the bodega? These Arabs come over here and do that. He making money off YouTube. That just goes to show you that people exploit our people all the time, whether it be for our music, whether it be for our, our interactions, our reactions. They exploit black Americans, the real American Indians, all day. Steal our music, take our publishing rights. That's all, man. I'm done with my thing today. So, listen, you ain't gotta send me nothing, right? You ain't gotta send me nothing. Somebody said we need each other each and every way. Said what I said. Well, again, the question was who needs who more? Because without men, you would be homeless. Because men build your buildings you live in. Without men having a system of law enforcement, you'd be fooled out here. You have these males out here trying to grab women up and sexually assault them and whatnot. You would have all that going on out there. So this society is set up for women to live in. When women build their own societies, then they can talk to me about how they don't need men. But until y'all go out here and be out here building, and listen, no women want to do that. No women want to do that. Until women build their own societies, right? You can't tell me nothing. Exactly. Y'all need men more, man. But y'all don't act like it. You don't act like it. Because y'all too busy chasing behind males who ain't doing nothing. But that's another thing. All right. Some more than exploitation. Yeah, the exploitation of these guys who come up here, these Europeans who come over here and come into your neighborhoods and make money off the indigenous people, the American indigenous people, making YouTube videos, going in the hood, calling y'all thugs. Again, that's that same racist mentality. And he got a black dude that run around. The guy Octo, he got a black dude that run around in a little Sambo with dreads. And they say Octo got a $7 million house. This guy run around, the little black dude, the little Sambo, because see, he got to take the little black dude with him, because that's how these colonizers are. He can't go in the hood by himself. He need the black man with him. Right? And the black man going, the black kid going out there doing all these stuff, and you know they'll kill him in a heartbeat. They'll think twice about killing the Armenian who look like a white boy. They'll think twice about hurting him. They'll kill the black dude in the heartbeat. He going out here risking his life, and he got, you know what he got to show for it? He got a damn room in the mansion of the damn white boy, the Armenian dude. Opto. He got a room in his mansion. He ain't got his own mansion, yet he out there taking the risk like you, could get himself killed, could get himself beat up or stuff. And he done got knocked out and beat up. I wonder how much money he got. But that's their business. If he want to be a coon and Sambo and whatnot, be exploited, fine. These Negroes out here being exploited, getting pranks played on, all that stuff, man. Whatever. All right. I'm looking, ain't got any questions before we close it out, before I crash it out, because I'm about to do my radio broadcast. Doing my radio broadcast tonight. Y'all see the Basquiat joint? Y'all can probably see it better now. The dinosaur with the crown on his head, y'all probably can see it better now. I'm getting a better camera, man. I don't like this camera's okay, but I'm getting a better camera. One of my wives was like, we're gonna get a good podcast camera. I keep telling her order it. She never ordered it. But I'm getting a better camera because I want to show y'all, I'm proud of my artwork. I had this done here. This is you can see it. This is the dinosaur. This is the Basquiat piece. The dinosaur with the crown on its head. But, there's a story to that. So that's it. Subscribe to my Mentellect Patreon channel. Mentellect, MENTELLECT. Subscribe to my Mentellect Patreon channel. Subscribe to my Mentellect Patreon women's channel for those of you who want to know and who have or want to get an intellectual outlook on how men see women from an intellectual man like myself. Go and subscribe to my Mentellect women's channel. Only $10 a month. I constantly upload stuff on it. Sometimes I take a little breather because I want to give you the best. But go and subscribe. You go, women out there, you intelligent women, because my broadcast is for intelligent people. These podcasts are for the intelligent ones of our people, the thinkers. I don't do these podcasts for black people. I do these for bright people who are inside the black race, people who are waking up to who we are as American indigenous people, because this is the truth about who we are. This is really the truth. You wanted to know what our heritage and culture is? Here it go right here. It was stolen from us. So we're just taking it back and taking it forward. So subscribe to the Mentellect Men's channel. Subscribe to the Mentellect Women's channel. I got that for you men, you intelligent men who, like I said, like Kevin Samuels on steroids. And I ain't going to beat you in the head with no BS. I'm going to tell you straight up how you modern day men, you American indigenous men, and you men all over the world can check it out and get something from it. Also $10 a month. So subscribe to the Mentellect Men's channel. For the Thinking Man's channel, subscribe to the Mentellect Women's channel. This channel, that channel is not for females, it's for women. My channels are not for females and males, they're for men and women. Because I'm the first one to bring out the difference between men and males and women and females. Remember I told y'all, go back to my old Mentellect radio broadcast. I said men are different from males because men are mentally correct. Males are just anatomically correct. Same thing with females. Women are mentally correct, which puts them above females who are just, females are just anatomically correct, not mentally correct. But that's just a little bit. I always talk on it. So subscribe to those. Subscribe to Sister Enra Benzetta's Ethnic American channel. We're about to change that channel over to another name. Ethnic American channel. Check out the Ethnic American channel. That's it. Oh, subscribe. Also, those of you who consider yourselves to be a real American indigenous people, who share this message, who this resonates with as American Indians, because see, we don't do the tribal thing over here. See, the tribal thing is what destroyed our people. We are a united American Indigenous Federation of people, you know, who are coming together collectively so that we can go forward as American Indigenous people, because that's who we are. You see, it didn't make any sense to not give the full picture of who we are as American Indigenous people, as people of the almond race, not the human race. Because again, even I teach that we are a separate species, separate from the human race. You could clearly see that. I talked about that. Check out my other video where I talked about that in here, where I said, are black people really part of the human race? I question that, because you could clearly see that the human race is comprised of Caucasians, Asians, East Indians, people with the same type of hair or fur. And we got the real hair, the naturals, or that grow up. That's hair. But again, I'm gonna close it out. So join the Republic of America. You see it in the American Republic Worldwide. Go and become a registered member of the Republic of America, because that is the first American Indigenous community. I started the first American Indigenous community as an American Indigenous man. Nobody else can say they start an American Indigenous community because they're not indigenous to America. So me as Benjamin Manhattan, we got our own names. Benjamin Manhattan is an American name from an American man. It's an American Indigenous Indian name, an American name. The only ones who can claim American is us. Nobody else. Everybody else came from elsewhere, and that could be proven. That's why they don't ever want to take no damn DNA tests. But anyway, join the Republic of America. Check out the American Republic Worldwide. Become a registered member. Because again, we got our own American Indigenous community, man. We're not part of the black community. We're not part of the black community, the African American community, none of that stuff, man. We moved on. You see? All right. So, anybody got any questions before we close out? And I'll say some of the Mexicans, and some of you Mexicans, some of you who got indigenous blood in you from the old Mex, because those are the original Mexicans, the so-called blacks are the original Mexicans. Those of you who have, because you still got a huge population of black, so-called black Mexicans over there who are descendants of the Mesoamericans, who are the Olmecs and all that, and all those people. Those are black people, black Americans or American Indigenous people. I'm using black so you follow what I'm saying. But that's it. So join the Republic of America. Join the Republic of America. Become part of the American Indigenous community and answer as American Indians or American Indigenous. Here's the American Indian community right here. The real American Indian community right here. Okay? Here it is right here. Join the Republic of America so that we can teach our children the truth about who we really are, so we can have our own real community as the American Indigenous community. That's who we should be answering to, not no black community, because black is saying nothing. Black is no culture, no heritage. That's just them erasing us. And like I said, trust nobody who's saying that about us or calling us that. But that's it. I'm going to close out. Let me see. There's nothing? All right. I'm going to close out in the name of Amen, by the power of Amen. And Amen we trust, and Amen we think, and in Amen we continue forward forever. I am the high and mighty intellectual Benjamin Manhattan. This has been High and Mighty Talks, or excuse me, High and Mighty Thoughts with me, the intellectual Benjamin Manhattan. Let me see what I want to close out with. What I want to close out with. What I want to close out with. I want some real American Indigenous heat. I want some real American Indigenous heat. I'm going to close out with Nas. Last real nigga alive. Good night.
Lord have mercy, Jesus Christ. He's just nice. He just slice like a Ginsu. Look at the life that I've been through. I'm the last real nigga alive, that's official. Lord have mercy, Jesus Christ. He's just nice, he just sliced like a Ginsu. Look at the life that I've been through. I'm the last real nigga alive, that's official. Y'all know about my Biggie walls. Who you thought kicking the door was for? But that's my heart, y'all still tripping off the jigger shit. Real niggas listen up and I'ma tell you how the whole thing start. Off top, I brung Queens up from hard times. Rocking at the fever, streets was all mine. It was my version of the blues. Dropping out schools, the crack epidemic had rap representing the rules. So I got in them shoes, tried them, wore them. Wasn't a perfect fit, so I couldn't sport them. Young murderers ride, I knew all them. Jungle got shot, Will died, we was warring. I wrote it in my album. I was 18 with Lake Cena Allen, and Lord held me down and my surroundings started changing. I had a baby, I was making my rounds with AZ. Niggas started noticing my flow and was open when the golden child closed them in with more style than them older men. Puff tried to start a label, Prince Rakim had formed Wu-Tang. Snoop and Dre had a new thing, so Puff drove his new range through Queensbridge projects. He let me drive it before Ready to Die hit. Big and I hit blunts performing at the Arc. Next thing you knew, Big Blue when all the ballin' starts. He had Kim and his crew. I found Fox, only niggas in New York with #1 charts. Big was ahead of his time. Him and Raekwon, my niggas, but dig it, they couldn't get along. That's when Ghostface said it on the purple tape. Bad boy biting Nas album cover weight. Big told me Ray was stealing my slang, and Ray told me out in Shaolin Big would do the same thing, but I borrowed from both.
This is real American Indigenous right here. This is American Indigenous. This is American Indigenous right here. Hip hop, jazz, R&B, album music. This is real American Indians right here. We're the real American Indians.
Lord have mercy, Jesus Christ. He's just nice, he just sliced like a Ginsu. Look at the life that I've been through. I'm the last real nigga alive, that's official. Lord have mercy, Jesus Christ. He's just nice, he just sliced like a Ginsu. Look at the life that I've been through. I'm the last real nigga alive, that's official. Rap became a version of Malcolm and Martin. Rest in peace, Will Queensbridge live on. There's some ghetto secrets I can't rhyme in this song. There's some missing pieces I had to leave out. Had lost trust for Steve Stout at some point till I got to know him. We old friends, but what's loyal? Puff soaked in the scope offices with champagne bottles on Steve. And Steve thought the drama's on me, cause previously it would have been against whoever, friends forever. However, I learned with some niggas it's all business, but I'm a street dude with morals. Then this niggas would jiggle too much. He used to say Jay wanted my spot. I laughed, stayed home, never hung a lot. A quiet man who used to be alone planning. Baby moms thought I was too quiet, couldn't stand it. She hit the streets, later on she hitting the sheets with a rapper who wanted me on his song, stinking he strong. I taught her how to watch for cars who might follow. Taught her street shit that I know. Her weakness was shine, yo, but that's her. I ain't mad, baby, it made me stronger. Now I get my paper longer. Illmatic, I was boss. It was written, I floss. One of the most creative LPs ever to hit stores. In the firm, I learned I am Nostradamus, QB's finest. Uchiwali faced more problems. I gave it all up so I could chill at home with mama. She was getting old and sick, so I stayed beside her. We had the best time. She asked would I make more songs. I told her not till I see her health get more strong. In the middle of that, Jay tried to sneak attack, assassinate my character, degrade my hood. Cause in order for him to be the Don, Nas had to go. The Gambia rules I understood, which I once see I already had. The gift and the curse, fuck that shit. The first shall be last, I'm the man's man. A rapper's rapper, G-O-D, S-O-N, there'll be none after. I was Scarface, Jay was Manolo. It hurt me when I had to kill him. And his whole squad for Dolo. For Dolo, 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 for Dolo. Lord have mercy, Jesus Christ. He's just nice, he just sliced like a Ginsu. Look at the life that I've been through. I'm the last real nigga alive, that's official. Lord have mercy, Jesus Christ. He's just nice, he just sliced like a Ginsu. Look at the life that I've been through. I'm the last real nigga alive, that's official.